started. I see we are just you're just 4 of you, so we're going to get started anyway. So in the previous class, we had looked at the syntax for Java. The syntax for Java, how a Java program looks like. And therefore we created a a, a project which we called Welcome to Java. And we did some few things with that. So let me share the screen so that we can see where we were in the previous class. Right. So there we are. Let me zoom. So this is where we were, and we had begun with looking at the format for a Java program, the basic format for a Java program. Today, I want us to look at the basic Java programming. And in basic Java programming, we are going to look at how to allow the user to enter input, and how the program can manipulate input, and how the program can display output. So those are some of the things that we are going to do. So I want you to open NetBeans wherever you are. I want you to open NetBeans, and we can get started. Once you are done opening NetBeans, open the package which we had created, the very first package which we had created. The way to open a package is basically you go here. Can you see these projects? Here, projects. Look at where my mouse is. Projects, file services. Here, for projects, you're going to see your projects. Yeah, it's probably called Welcome to Java, or however you named it. So you click on it, you click source packages, Welcome to Java, and the code itself. The code is always welcome to java.java. All right, .java, that is the file extension for Java. So that's what you should open. So when you are done opening, you can tell me so that I can proceed. Hope you can see that. Projects, you click projects, then you'll see your project there. So when you're done opening, you can tell me so that I can proceed. Have you opened the your NetBeans? Gishobi Alex, do you have a laptop? Muli Lilian, Terence, Tobit. I hope that you have laptops. So open NetBeans and open the project so that we can proceed. Once you're done opening NetBeans and opening that project, tell me so that I can advance. I'm waiting on you. All right. Anyone else apart from Terence? Muli Lilian, do you have a laptop? And do you have notepad? Tobit Misoi. Gishobi Alex Jackson, do you have laptops and do you have uh, NetBeans? Sorry, not notepad. Do you have NetBeans? A machine. I need to get response from all of you so that I can continue. Jackson, do you have a laptop? And Gishobi Alex. Gishobi, is your machine a Windows machine? It uses which operating system? Is your machine 64-bit or 32-bit? So apart from Terence, uh, there's no one else who has a laptop, and Gishobi. Apart from Terence and Gishobi, no one else has a laptop. Because it seems for today's class we only have two people that have laptops. Gishobi and Terence. Now, who are we together with? Uh, Terence is okay. Gishobi is installing. Who else are we having that has a laptop? I need you to communicate so that we can continue. You have a laptop and you have a functioning Netflix. Molly Lilian, what have you installed? JDK or Netflix or both? All right, to ensure you open NetBeans and ensure it's running. When you open NetBeans, it's supposed to look like this. When you open NetBeans, it's supposed to have something like that. A start page. It's supposed to have a start page. So I want to go straight right now to the coding so that we don't waste a lot of time. All right, let me start out with the coding, otherwise it will take a lot of time. The others will join us. So we are back here. So as I said, we are going to do basic Java programming. We're going to see how we can allow the user to enter input and how the program can manipulate input to give output. All right. So we are just going to edit whatever we are having here inside here. Now, the first thing we need to understand, for instance, I want us to have a program. I want us to have a program that basically, let's start with a simple program. A program with a value x is equals to 10, the program displays that value. Let's have a program like that. You can see it in the public chat area. I have typed something there. A program with a value x is equals to 10. Basically, the program just displays a number, and that number is a programmer-defined number, x, which is 10. And the work of the program is just to display that number. So it's a very simple program. The first thing we are going to do, we are going to declare a variable, right? So it's going to be a number. So numbers, just like in C++, are stored in the variable x, all right? And then initialize it with 10. Okay, int x is equals to 10. Then now you come and display, right? And display, you use the function system.out.println. All right. Yeah. So we're going to have these this so system.out.println bracket here, I mean double apostrophe, double quotation, to show that we don't have a user defined thing that we are printing. We are just printing the number itself. And why do we have plus? This plus is very vital. You're going to be interacting with this symbol so much for your programming. This is used to access the variable. When it is used inside the println function, it is used to access the variable. So when I say plus x, it's basically telling the compiler to access the value inside that variable called x. Together. So I save the project and then I run it. So I come here and I run. Can you see this green button where my mouse is? I run. You click that green button there. So can you see a welcome to Java? It's running at the bottom right. Welcome to Java is running. So there it is. Can you see the output there? Can you see that? All right, is this being shared? Let me see. Can you see that? So I've just zoomed in. So basically it has just displayed 10. All right, I declared a variable, I stored in it a number 10, and then I use the system.out.println function to display that number, just that. Okay. All right, I want us to have another. If I want to display a number like, let's just say, let me close this output. I want to display two numbers. Okay. Let me say I want to display two numbers. So a program that displays two programmer defined numbers, 10 and 20. Right? So a program that displays two programmer defined numbers, 10 and 20. Just that. So the first thing to know is that these numbers have been defined by the programmer. Okay, so the programmer has to do what? Initialize. All right, he has to initialize those variables. Then the work of the compiler is just to do what? To display. Okay, to fetch them and display them. So you just come here, int x is equals to 10, int y is equals to 20. But we can first declare this way, int x and int y, that way, right? And then you come here and you say x is equals to 10. Why? Because you're just initializing, and y is equals to 20. So I've initialized, those are now my programmer defined. When I say programmer defined, it means that you or I, as the programmer, we are the ones that are putting those numbers. It is not the user. So anytime you are given a question or in real life, you see the word programmer defined or programmer initialized, it means that it is the programmer setting those values or setting those constant variables. Okay, so I have set the constant variables. They are both integers. So I've first declared them and then initialized them. The other way would be to do this. The other way would be doing this. I can have int x is equals to 10. Then I have int y is equals to 20. That's another way, right? So both of them are okay. You can first, because I've just the reason I've chosen to use the first way in x and y is because it tells me to use int just once, all right, instead of having to repeat int. Okay, so x is equals to 10 and y is equals to 20. All right. Now it can even be in a new line. It doesn't matter. Okay, so ukiweka kwa new line, it's just for organization purposes. But even if you don't put it in a new line, it will still be okay as long as you have what? The semicolon after initializing one variable. Semicolon is to terminate that line of code, to tell the compiler that that line of code ends there. Okay, and that's why you see there is always a semicolon everywhere where I write a line of code. So we have that, and then now we now display them. Okay, the two numbers 10, 20. Okay, so we are going to use, there are three functions. There are two functions that are used for, these are the functions used in Java for display. And I had mentioned this in the previous classes. The functions used in Java for display, they are as follows. There is system.out.println. There is system.out.printf. These two are they will come in very handy when doing display. Now these two, the first one is the one that we have been using. This second one is normally used, and we actually used even the second one. I remember I gave you a task, and in the introductory class, the previous class, we said that system.out.printf works the same way like printf in C programming. So that means that with printf, this one, you can actually use it together with escape characters like /t/n. Remember those escape characters to skip to a new line, to push to a new tab, those things. You can even use ampersand. All right. So this printf works the same way as the printf in C language. So let me go back here to code. Right, so system.out, I'm going to use println first so that I can demonstrate how it works. System.out.println. right? Can you see that? Plus x and plus y. Plus x is will tell the compiler fetch the value at variable x. Plus y will tell the compiler fetch the value at variable inside variable y. So let's run this program and see how it runs. Can you see that? 10, 20. But hakuna space. I hope you can all see that. 10, 20, right? But hakuna space. So for me to implement space, let me close the output. For me to implement space, I just come here. Very simple. Naweka space hapo. Okay. Hata hapa si lazima pakuwe na space because there's nothing being displayed there. So plus x and then plus y. Let me save that and run it. Still no space. Let me use printf, all right, to display the spaces. Okay, x and y. So I'm going to use ampersand. Unakumbuka modulus d space modulus d, right? Oh yeah, that's how it should be. Good. All right, let's see how that will work. Let me run it. So can you see that? Now you can see that. So there is a space. Yeah. So do you remember in C language you use modulus d to inform the compiler that what you are printing is a what? Is an integer. If it was a float, it would be modulus point f, or modulus point 2f, or modulus point 3f, depending on how many number of decimal places you want displayed, right? So system.out.printf works like that. It has displayed them in that manner. Now, what if we want to display them in new lines? Hatutaki display 10, 20, tunataka display new line. What I'm just going to do, I'm going to do this. I'm going to introduce /n. Just that /n to move y into a new line, right? So let me save and run it. Run. And you see that 10, 20. Okay. All right. What if I want to display them as follows? I want to display them as follows: 10, 20. Yeah, I want to display them this way. No, doesn't come out the way I wanted. Is let me see. No, it cannot allow me to type that way in the chat area. Basically, what I'm saying is, but what if I want to display them this way? Let me write it in the code so that you can see it. I want to display this way: 10 and then 20. That way. I want to display something like that, something like this. Can you see that? I want to display one and then the other in the new line, but pushed a few tabs. What am I going to do? I'm just going to come here /n. /n is to move y, the value of y, to the new line, then /t to push it one tab away. Okay, so look at how this will work. Can you see that? When it runs, it brings that. All right, who has any question before now I go to the next thing? So that's a very simple way of manipulating input and output. Who has a question so that I can go now to user inputs? Any question? The programs we have just written are used to manipulate outputs. There is no user input, it's just output. So any question so that I can now go to inputs? All right, if there's no question, then let's go to inputs. Now, now here we want to see how we can create Java programs that can allow the user to enter an input, and then the program can manipulate that input and display or just display. Okay, so for instance, let's begin with a very, very simple example. Let's have a program, develop a Java program that allows the user to enter any number. It then displays that number. Right? It then displays that number. I hope you are following. So look in the chat area, I've just typed the question there. Develop a Java program that allows the user to enter any number. It then displays that number. Simple. We go to our code. So we don't initialize because it is the user now providing those values. It is not the programmer. So we leave that. We only need one variable because it's just for one value. Then for input, there is something very, very specific that we need to know for input. For input, there is a class we call scanner that we use for input in Java. There is a class we call scanner class. Right? Now, that scanner class should be the first to be declared before you even declare any variable, or before you even allow you input code for input. You have to declare that class. So for any program, Java program, where you have the user is supposed to enter some kind of input, whichever it is, it allows the user to enter input, you need that class. It's called scanner class. This is how you define it, and you define it outside the class, right? Where my cursor pointer is blinking, there you define it there, hapo nje ya class. Okay, so scanner, and then so it is just called scanner. That class, you have also to define an object, and that object you can give it any name, an object of the class scanner which you're going to use. So I'm going to use just this object. I'm going to just name it like a variable. It's the object for scanner class. The class is called scanner. All right, that one you don't change the name. It's a keyword. Scanner is a keyword. It's a class called scanner for inputs, but you have to declare an object for scanner, and that object you can give it any name. So for me, I'll give it in for input. Okay, so scanner in is equals to new scanner system dot in, right? Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay. So this is where we are. Now let me first do this. I'm going to import the scanner class first. Import java.util.scanner. That way. Okay. So there I've declared the class scanner. Then now you create an object for scanner. Okay. So you come here. Scanner in is equals to new scanner system.in. All right. In ilikuwa nimeitaipa hapa juu. I've just cut and pasted it over there. Okay. So you have that and you have that, right? So you first define that and then you define that. The class scanner is the one that allows the user to enter inputs. And here is where you declare the object for scanner. And for me, I've declared it with the name in. So in is the object for scanner. Okay. And this in green here, it is the key. It's a keyword, right? Whatever you see in green or black or blue in NetBeans is a keyword in Java. Okay. So in is a keyword for input, which allows the user to enter inputs. Right, system.in. Then we have already declared our variable here int x. So you come and tell the user, you prompt the user the same way you can whenever you go into any program. If it requires you to enter any input, it prompts you. It tells you enter this, like your phone, enter PIN, yeah, enter password, things like that. So that is a prompt. So we need to have an input prompt, something to tell the user what to enter, right? So we tell the user. So we're going to have system out dot println enter any number. So this is what you call an input prompt. Okay, let me comment there so that you can see it. Input prompt. This is definition for scanner class. User input. And then this is definition for object for scanner, right? So after telling the user to enter any number, then you have to allow the user to enter any number. You remember enter any number, so you have to allow. So for in C language, we used to say scanf. In C++, you used cin. All right. Now this is how you do it in Java. You first have the data type called X, right? And then we use this in. Okay. So X is equals to in dot. For instance, if you want to enter a number, itakuwa next int, right? In dot next int. If you want to enter a character, itakuwa in dot next or in dot next line. If you want to enter a float, itakuwa in dot next float. If you want to enter a double, itakuwa in dot next double. That way, okay? So remember Java is also case sensitive, so tukichange hii ikuwe small I italeta error. Can you see that? So it needs to be capital I dot next int. So this is the line of code that allows the user to enter. All right. Then now the program should display that number which the user has entered. Okay. So we are going to have something like your number is then plus x. Hapa tunaweza tumia println. Okay. Just change that. Person should not be there. That way. So number is plus x. Now let us run this program. No, ameniambia enter any number. Acha niweke 40. The number is 40. You see that? After I've put 40 and pressed enter, it has given me the output. Your number is 40. Now I know someone might have a question here in what we've just done. So I want you to ask a question. Oh, sorry. What is in between Java and scanner? Import Java dot. It's a dot, right? Import Java dot util. Import Java dot utility dot scanner. That way. Import Java dot util dot scanner. See that? Import Java dot util dot scanner. Okay. All right. Someone to ask a question in just what we've done. You can't fail to have a question. I know you have a question. This is going to be very important in the next, in all of the programming we're going to be doing here with you. All right, I will repeat. I will repeat. Just a minute. Just a minute. Alright, I am back. I want to repeat. The one who wants it to be repeated, you've gone offline. Somebody to tell Molly to come back online. She wanted this to be repeated for her sake, and she is offline. Somebody to tell Molly Lillian to be back. She has requested that I repeat, and she's gone offline. Somebody to tell Molly Lillian to be back. I need to repeat. She has requested I repeat, and she is offline. Then I will repeat without her, because I think we are spending a lot of time there. So this is what I've said. When you want to have a program that can allow the user to enter input, the first thing is to define the scanner class. The scanner class is a class in Java that allows users to enter input, or it allows the programmer to write code that can allow user to provide input. The first thing is to declare the scanner class, and this is how you declare it, by importing it. So import java.util.scanner. All right, and this comes before the public class. Okay, this comes before the public class and before package and after package. Sorry, before public class and after the package, the name of the package. In other words, the name of the project. Right, project is called the package. So come there, ensure that as you are typing it, you are not typing it as a comment. For some of you, there's a comment here like kuna kitu imeandikwa hapo. Don't come here or yeah, ama utapata kuna comment inakaa hivi. Some of you, and this is the error that you may experience, right? And then ukuja hapa utaipia hapa, utaipia hapa unabeba, that is a comment because it is in between the multiple commenting style. The multiple commenting style is the multiple commenting style, backslash, asterisk, asterisk, backslash, backslash, asterisk, and asterisk, backslash. Hii ni multiple comments. So ukitaipia hapa ndani ndio maana unaona inaleta na gray. Okay, so file kuitaipia kwa comment, it's not a comment. Alright, you should type it outside the comment. Okay, outside the comment. Right, then so we said you first define the scanner class, then you go ahead and declare an object for that scanner. Right, declare an object for that scanner. So the way to declare an object for that scanner is to use the class scanner. You remember in C++, the way to declare an object was to do what? It was to use the name of the class to name the object. So if your class is called students and you have an object called student1, so you will name the object using the name of the class, like students student1. Student1 is the name of the object and students is the name of the class. So here scanner is the class. Okay, then I have chosen to use in just for yourself so that you can understand. In for input. All right, scanner in is equal to new scanner. Hivyo ndio tuna declare hiyo object ya scanner, and then the object itself, for me I've chosen to use the word in. Scanner in is equals to new scanner system.in, na yote iko kwa bracket hivyo. Scanner in is equals to new scanner system.in. So when you do these two things, you declare the object for scanner, and then you declare the scanner class, then declare the object for scanner, then now you can write your code. All right, so you come here, let me continue. You come here now, you declare one variable. Remember our program, usisahau your program inafanya nini? Develop a Java program that allows the user to enter any number and then it displays that number. Right, so just one number. So you'll have to declare just one variable to support one number. We don't need multiple variables, we just need one variable for this particular program. Okay, so I've declared that variable, I've called it x, and because it's going to host a number, I've declared it using the type int. Right, then I tell the user, this is what is called prompting the user. The way you can use a system and it tells you enter your PIN, enter M-Pesa, enter amount. Those kinds of words that give you instructions on what to do, they are called input prompts. All right, input prompts. It prompts you to provide a certain input. Okay, so I've developed a prompt there to tell the user what to do. It will be displayed there so that the user can know what they are doing, what the program is expecting them to do. So display system.out.println enter any number. Then when you tell the user to enter any number, so you should have a code that actually allows the user to enter that number. Yeah, so as I said, in C, the code or the function for user input was scanf in C language. In C++, it was cin. Now in Java, it looks like this, right? Doesn't have a name to it. It's a way of writing it. So you first give the name of the variable. When the user enters that input, it's going to be stored in what variable? So you first start with the name of the variable. Okay, is equal to Then this is now the particular line, the particular segment of code that allows the user to actually enter in dot. All right, in dot next int. Right. So in ni the name of the object yenye tulitumia na scanner. Okay. So tukichange hapa, for instance tuseme scanner input, to change hapo, right? Unaona hapa in imeniletea error. Hapa kwa in imeniletea error. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu the object for scanner haitwi in, sasa inaitwa input. So allows us to change here iko in input. Can you see that? And the way to know is, unaona hii imekuwa highlighted na imekuwa highlighted by default to show you that it's the same thing we are using. So whatever object you use, yeah, entry, you'll also have to change here entry, right? So scanner entry dot nini. So I'm just demonstrating. So let me go back to in. In is more simple to say, and it's more simple to say. It makes us the work easy. So x equals to in dot next int, right? So the object dot next. So if you want to enter a number, if the user is supposed to enter a number, then you're going to say next int ikiwa na hizi bracket mbili. If you want the user to enter a character or x was a character, you declared it as a char, it's going to be next line. All right. If it is a string, it's going to also be next line. If it is a float, it's going to be next float. If it is a double, it's going to be next double with a bracket, opening and closing bracket, and the int or the float should begin with what? Capital letter. All right. And then now you come here. So now this is the code now that allows the user to enter a number, to actually enter a number. So the mouse will be blinking. The position at the mouse pointer, there will be a blinking bar waiting for the user to enter a number. And then system.out.println. Now this one is for display. When the user enters the number and presses enter key, right? Enter is to initiate the program to go to the next line of code. The next line of code is what? Display. So it's going to display your number is, and then it fetches that number that has been stored in the variable x. Okay. Right. Any other question? I have repeated. Any other question? Any other question? All right. Now, let me try with another. All right. Let me try with another. For instance, the user should enter their name. All right. So, a Java program where the user enters their name, then it displays the name, right? It displays the name in the format. Your name is, right? So can please follow what I've typed in the chat area. A Java program where the user enters their name, sorry for the misspelling, enters their name, then it displays the name in the format your name is, and then it displays that name, right? So let me write the code and then I share. I have just lost the screen sharing, so let me just write the code, then I reload the program. I reload the refresh. All right, then I'm going to first declare what So I can choose to edit the program, but I want to delete the key components of the program. I write them again so that you can see them, right? So that you can see them. So let me share this screen here. So we said the first thing, if you want a program that should allow user input, is to declare or define scanner class. All right. So import java.util scanner. Right. Even the program itself already knows, so it's actually very easy to actually can suggest for you. You see that it was suggested for me, and then I just press enter. Then now you declare the object for scanner. So I'm going to call it that object in again, and even say entry. Okay, scanner entry is equals to new scanner system dot in. Right? Okay. So in a baki. Right? This in is a keyword. All right. Whether tutumie in hapa bai itakuwa in, to change up iko input itakuwa in, change up iko entry itakuwa in, whatever. This one does not change. Okay, this remains system dot in. In is a keyword when it is used there. Okay, it is not the other in that we are using, like the name of an object. Here it's a keyword. All right, system dot in, it allows the user to enter input. Right, then you now declare what? A string. Okay, string name. Right, that's how you declare a string. Umeona hivyo? That's how you declare a string in Java. You don't just say string, you just string whatever. You say string, the name of the string is equals to new string. Okay, that's how you declare a string in Java. And then you go ahead, now you prompt the user, you tell the user what to do. Yeah, so system.out. Don't use println. So now here something is wrong here. You tell the user what, and your name. Oh, sorry. This one should be, sorry. This one should be inside here. It should be inside the main method. Sorry, that's why it was giving me an error. The object ndio inadeclariwa nje ya nini? Nje ya main method. Okay. Even let's have it there. Okay. Let's just have it there. That one is more good. So, all right. So ensure that as you go through it, you keep correcting the errors. Okay. So enter your name. Okay. All right. So then we come here. We want that name to be entered by the user, but something you have not done is what? Declare what? A variable where that name is going to be stored. Actually, we have it already. We have already declared it as string name. So we're going to have your name is equals to so not in but entry. Name is equals to entry dot next Can you see line? Should be there. Yeah, there. Entry is equals to new, name is equals to entry dot next line, and then you come here. You say system dot out dot println. Println is here. Huh? Your name is your plus name. So you said the plus operator there is used to do to access the value or the meaning that variable. So let's now run it. So we have run it there. Let me say my name is Francis. Your name is Francis. You see that? Let's run it again. And name is Francis Mutuku. You see that? So even a white space is included in that string. Okay. You will discover that in C++, white spaces are not normally provided for in cout. When declaring a string or a character, white spaces are not catered for. You have to use an underscore. But for Java, it can accommodate a white space without using any other separate function. Right? So that's how simple that program is. Just a program that tells the user enter your name. The user enters the name and then it displays that name. Hmm? Any question? Any question? All right, I want you now to develop a program that does the following. Develop a Java program that allows the user to enter two numbers. It computes sum of the numbers. It computes and displays the sum of the numbers. It computes and displays the sum of the numbers. All right, it's there in the public chat area. Develop a Java program that allows the user to enter two numbers. It computes and displays the sum of the numbers. All right, get to work. Get to work. Once you're done, you say you're done. I give you the system privilege to present your screen when you're done. So when you're done, you just type there you're done, so that I can give you privilege to share your screen from your phone and share with the rest. So get to work. Get to work. Code that program. Code that program. Develop a Java program that allows the user to enter two numbers, computes and displays the sum of the numbers. So code that program. Let me I'll mute my mic so that I can allow you to do your work.